begging you. I did not know it was inside. I did not sleep last night. Only please come back home. I'm losing my mind.
Lagos was still dark when Bimbo's alarm rang at 4 a.m. The small red digits on the bedside clock glowed faintly across the room, cutting through the quiet hum of the ceiling fan. She groaned softly, rubbing her eyes before dragging herself up from the bed. Magnus lay beside her, snoring loudly, one leg stretched across the bed like a man without a care in the world. Bimbo sat at the edge of the bed for a moment, letting her feet touch the cold tiles. Her bones felt heavier than usual. She took a deep breath and whispered to herself, "Another day." She pushed herself up and walked to the kitchen. The house was always quiet at this time. She opened the cabinets, brought out bread, eggs, tomatoes, onions, and started preparing breakfast. While the eggs fried, she packed the children's lunch, jollof rice she had cooked the previous night when she was already exhausted but forced herself to do because Magnus said a good wife prepares food ahead. By 5 a.m. she was shaking Mimi lightly. "Mimi, wake up. You need to get ready for school." The little girl rubbed her eyes. "Mummy, it's still dark." "I know. But we need to prepare early." She moved to Alex, gently pulling off his blanket. "You too, wake up, time for school." "Mummy, 5 more minutes," he whispered. "No, get up." Joanna, the 8-month-old baby, was already stirring in her cot. When Bimbo picked her up, she clung to her shoulder and began whining. Bimbo rocked her gently, whispering, "I know, baby. Give me just a little strength today." By 5:30 a.m. she had bathed the older children, fed them breakfast, dressed them, cleaned the sitting room, swept the corridor, washed the plates, and ironed their uniforms. Magnus still had not opened his eyes. At 6 a.m. she entered the bedroom again. "Honey, please wake up," she said softly. "I'm taking the children to school soon." Magnus grunted, eyes still shut. "You didn't iron my shirt." "I ironed it yesterday. It's on the wardrobe door." "You should have ironed it this morning so it will be warm," he said without moving. Bimbo swallowed the irritation rising in her throat. She didn't have the strength to argue. "I have to leave soon. I need to drop the children." "You are a woman," he said casually, flipping to his side. "You should manage your time better." She didn't respond. She carried Joanna's diaper bag, fixed her feeding bottles, and rushed the children into the car. The sun was beginning to rise as she drove them to school, joining the morning traffic. At the school gate, she hugged the older kids. "Mummy, will you come early today?" Mimi asked. "I'll try. I promise." She dropped Joanna at the daycare near her office in Ikeja before finally pulling into the parking lot of the telecommunications company where she worked as a manager. It was 8:12 a.m. She had 8 minutes before the morning briefing. She adjusted her wig in the car mirror and forced a smile before stepping out. Inside the office, her colleagues greeted her warmly, but some noticed how tired she looked. Bimbo ignored their curious glances and moved straight into the meeting room. She conducted the briefing professionally, the way she always did, even though her back ached. It was after the meeting, when she was in her office answering emails, that her phone buzzed. It was Magnus. She hesitated before answering. "Hello. Why were the children almost late today?" Magnus asked sharply. "Do you want them to start keeping punishment in school? What is wrong with you, Bimbo? You woke up late again." "I woke up at 4, she said quietly. "Then you are lazy. How can someone wake up by 4 and still be struggling? Women of nowadays are something else. During my mother's time." She closed her eyes. He always brought up this woman he worshipped like a goddess. "I will call you later," she said and hung up before she snapped. Throughout the day, she worked tirelessly, attending meetings, reviewing proposals, and making calls. By 5 p.m. she rushed out again, drove to her daycare to pick up Joanna, then to the school to get the older kids. Traffic held her down. She arrived late. Again. "Madam, you came late today," the school security guard said. "Yes, I'm sorry," she replied, embarrassed. That evening, she came home only to start cooking dinner, cleaning up, washing the children's uniforms in the bathroom, and rocking Joanna to sleep while Magnus sat in the living room watching football highlights. Around 10:30 p.m. she finally showered, crawled into bed, and slept immediately. This was her life, every day for 6 years. It was Mandy who first noticed the change in Bimbo. They sat together in a cafeteria near the company, eating lunch. "You look drained," Mandy said, staring at her friend with worried eyes. "I'm fine," Bimbo said, but her voice was thin. "No, you're not. Your eye bags are deep. You've lost weight. You're moving like a zombie." Bimbo swallowed hard. Her throat burned. "Mandy. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Let your husband help you. Or get a day worker." I suggested it. He refused. He said his mother raised 10 children without help. Mandy frowned. "And because one woman suffered, every woman must continue suffering?" Bimbo laughed weakly. "He said house help will make me lazy." Lazy? Bimbo, are you even hearing yourself? You work a full-time job, raise 3 children, keep the house in order, cook every day, pay bills. He says any woman who needs help is weak. Bimbo said sadly. He even refused to buy a washing machine because it will make me lazy. I'm tired of this life, my sister. Mandy leaned forward. You need to stop killing yourself. You need help. But how could Bimbo explain the weight on her shoulders? The fear of being called a failure? The constant belittling? She simply nodded and continued eating. The last straw came a few weeks later, the night Magnus got promoted. Bimbo was at her desk in the office when he called. "Bimbo. I got promoted." His voice was loud with excitement. "Oh my God. Congratulations." She smiled for real this time. "I'm bringing some friends home tonight to celebrate. I just sent you money. Buy food and drinks. Make sure everything is ready before we come." Her heart skipped. "When are you coming?" "By 7. We'll close early today." "Okay," she said. She left the office before 5, drove straight to the market at Oshodi, and bought meat, fish, vegetables, drinks, spices, and more. By 6:30 p.m., she was sweating in the kitchen, pounding yam, frying chicken, stirring soup, checking the roasted fish, arranging drinks, and setting the dining table. By 7 p.m. she was already exhausted, but the food was almost done. Magnus walked in with 3 colleagues, all smiling broadly. "Good evening, sirs." Bimbo greeted his guests warmly. "Good evening," they replied. "Serve us food," Magnus said immediately. "It's almost ready. Just give me a few minutes," she said gently. Magnus turned to his guests, shaking his head dramatically. "Can you imagine? Lazy woman. Even small food she cannot prepare on time." Her face burned. The guests exchanged uncomfortable glances. One of them, named David, a tall man in glasses, said quietly, "Bro, take it easy. She's been working." "Working? This one?" Magnus scoffed. "Useless woman." Bimbo swallowed the pain and continued serving. As she carried a bottle of wine to the dining table, her hands trembled from exhaustion. The bottle slipped. It fell to the floor. Crack. Silence filled the room. Magnus stood abruptly. "Are you mad? Do you know how much that drink cost? What is wrong with you? You cannot do anything properly. Useless woman." The guests flinched. "Magnus, calm down," one of them said slowly. "It's just a mistake." "No. You people don't know her. She is good for nothing." Bimbo felt tears burning her eyes, but she walked away quietly. She finished the cooking, served them, cleaned the kitchen, washed the plates, bathed the baby, and finally sat on the bed, numb. Something inside her snapped. She could not continue like this. She could not die like this. She made up her mind that night. By dawn, she was moving silently around the house, doing her usual chores. At 6:30 a.m. she woke Magnus. "Honey, please take the children to school today," she said in a weak voice. "I don't feel well." Magnus looked at her suspiciously. "You will be fine. Just take Panadol." "I'm staying home," she insisted. He shrugged. "Suit yourself." He carried the children reluctantly and drove them to school. The moment he left, Bimbo took a small traveling bag from the top of the wardrobe. She packed only essential clothes, a few toiletries, and her documents. She looked around the room. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to feel pity for herself. Then she walked out. She went straight to Mandy's house. When Mandy opened the door, Bimbo broke down instantly. What happened? Come inside. Sit down. Talk to me. Between tears, Bimbo narrated everything from the verbal abuse to last night's humiliation. Mandy wrapped her arms around her. You will stay here for as long as you want. Don't go back until your mind is healed. Back at the office by 3 p.m. Magnus got a call from the school. Sir, please come and pick your children. Their mother has not arrived. What do you mean? Magnus asked. She is supposed to pick them. We tried calling her but her phone is off. Magnus cursed under his breath. Useless woman. He rushed to the school and collected the children, still boiling with anger. When he entered the house, Bimbo, he shouted immediately he stepped into the house. Come out here. Why didn't you pick up the children? Why is your phone off? Silence. Bimbo, he barked again. No answer. He stormed into the bedroom and froze when he saw the empty space in the wardrobe. Some of her clothes were gone. What nonsense is this? He shouted. Where did this woman go? How dare she leave me with the children? Who will take care of them? Alex and Mimi were hungry. Daddy, we want food, they cried. Magnus opened the empty pots in the kitchen helplessly. Your mother did not cook anything, he muttered angrily. He grabbed noodles and tried to prepare them, but they came out too watery. The children refused to eat and began crying louder. Just then, baby Joanna began crying loudly too. Her diaper was soaked. Magnus panicked. Oh God, what do I do? He tried to change Joanna's diaper but struggled with the straps. She cried harder. That night, none of them slept. Magnus walked around the house with the crying baby, rubbing his eyes, muttering, God, what kind of life is this? Where is this woman? At 6 a.m. he was already exhausted, his eyes red, his body aching. He made bread and tea for breakfast and tried to bathe the children. Water splashed everywhere. Mimi cried because the water was cold. Alex misplaced his socks. He dropped them at school around 9 a.m. looking worn out. The teachers stared at him. Sir, are you all right? I'm fine, he muttered, but he looked nothing like it. At work, he looked terrible. His boss frowned. Magnus, what is going on? You are dozing during a meeting. Sir. I'm sorry. My wife. Fix your home before it affects your work, his boss warned. His world was collapsing. That afternoon, when Bimbo finally switched on her phone, it rang immediately. Where did you go? Magnus yelled. Do you know the trouble you've caused? The children were crying all night. I am stressed because of you. Come home now. Bimbo laughed softly. Just one night. You are already complaining? Stop talking like that. Come home and take care of your family. She took a deep breath, her voice calm. Magnus, you are now a single father. I went out to be useless somewhere else. Take care of your children. Are you mad? How can I cook, clean, wash, take care of 3 children and still go to work? That is too much for one person. Oh, you can't. But your mother raised 10 children alone. Remember? And her mates did the same. So why are you complaining? Magnus paced around panicking. Bimbo, please. Please come home. If I, the useless woman, could do all this for 6 years, then you, the useful man, can do it better. You will survive it, darling. Real men don't complain. Magnus went silent. Bimbo, please, he said, voice shaking. I am begging you. I did not know it was this hard. I did not sleep last night. The baby cried till 2 a.m. Please come home. No, she said gently. I need a break. My mental health is important. I want to rest. I want peace. Do not call me again until you are ready to be a husband. She paused. Please, he whispered. I am losing my mind. Mental health is important, darling, she replied. Maybe I will come home when the children are all grown and ask them for forgiveness, she joked. I will send you some money so you can take care of the children. Make sure to wake them at 1 a.m. to pee, or you will wash the duvet in the morning. Change Joanna's diaper every 3 hours. Feed them well. Cover them well at night. She hung up. Honey, please, don't go. Hello. Hello. At Mandy's house, Mandy gave her a high five. That is my girl. Let him learn the value of peace. They went to a spa in Victoria Island, got full body massages, ate suya and ice cream, and went shopping. For the first time in years, Bimbo felt light. Meanwhile, Magnus was falling apart. He ran to the market and began buying household appliances like a desperate man. He bought a washing machine, dishwasher, robot vacuum cleaner, air fryer, microwave, food processor, everything he once swore he would never buy. He even hired a day worker who arrived every morning to help with the chores. He continued texting Bimbo every day. I am sorry. I was wrong. You are the strongest woman I know. I will never insult you again. Please forgive me. When Bimbo finally walked back into her home after one long week, the atmosphere felt different. Magnus rushed to her immediately, his voice shaking. Thank you for coming back, he said, wiping his face. I'm truly sorry. I didn't understand. I thought I knew what you were doing every day, but I had no idea. You didn't deserve the way I treated you. For the first time in years, he sounded sincere, not defensive, not proud, not irritated. Just honest. Bimbo looked around the house. The new washing machine was humming quietly in the corner. The robot vacuum cleaner moved gently across the tiles. In the kitchen, clean plates sat neatly inside the new dishwasher. Fresh groceries filled the fridge. The day worker was mopping the hallway. It was clear Magnus had changed something, not just the appliances, but himself. She sat down and exhaled. Magnus, she said calmly, I didn't leave just to punish you. I left because I needed you to understand that respect is not a favor. It's a basic requirement. He nodded quickly. I understand. I really do. I will do better. I will help you. I will appreciate you. Just, don't go again. Bimbo watched him, the man who once shouted at her for serving food late, now shaking as he begged for her presence. The man who once mocked her for wanting a washing machine, now buying every appliance he could find. The man who once believed a woman should suffer, now realizing he couldn't survive even 2 days without partnership. It wasn't victory she felt. It wasn't revenge. It was relief that the weight she had carried for years wasn't hers alone anymore. She nodded. Let's try again. But this time, we work as a team. The children rushed to her, hugging her legs and laughing through tears. Magnus wiped his face again and joined them. For the first time in a long time, the house felt warm. And from that day, things truly changed. Magnus helped with chores. He respected her time. He apologized quickly, acted gently, and appreciated loudly. He never insulted her again. And little by little, Bimbo found herself smiling again, looking younger, healthier, and happier. Her home was no longer a battlefield, it was finally a partnership. No woman needs to be a superhero to prove her worth. No man becomes less of a man by helping in his own home. Love grows where effort is shared, and dies where appreciation is absent. Sometimes, people don't value what they have until they are forced to live without it. But if you are lucky enough to get a second chance, like Magnus, you must never waste it. A peaceful home is built, not demanded. Respect is earned, not forced. And partnership is the only foundation marriage truly stands on. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.